Hi, this is Anis from Never Stop Trucking. In this video I wanted to talk about brokers. We just got a word that GT Worldwide Logistics and R&R and RFX are not doing that great. Some factoring companies are giving out notices to carriers to be careful when booking loads with these. Some of them are actually telling carriers not to book any loads because these brokers are starting to pay late. And that's a big issue right now with the carriers. Brokers have to deal with fraud and scam, and carriers nowadays have to deal with fraud and scam and brokers potentially not paying. These brokers, we worked with them in the past. I know RTS and OTR, they're saying to be careful. So if you're a carrier, if you're a dispatcher, if you're booking loads with these guys, just be careful. And anyone actually, and I wanted to make a video about bonds. That should be probably one of my next videos, but in this video we can just mention that most brokers nowadays have a $75,000 bond, including some of these bigger ones. If they work with millions of dollars, you know, $75,000 worth of loads, some of them, it's, you know, they book loads worth that much in a day or less, right? So $75,000 in a bond, it's really not that much. Now, if a broker is not paying, you can go after their bond, you can go after their customer, you know, the shipper or the receiver, whoever it is, and by law they should be paying you. Now that might be harder to accomplish, but it's still an option, okay? And you want to generally check brokers more nowadays because we are just used to working with certain brokers. For example, we are booking a load with XYZ brokerage all the time, and they're approved by factoring, or even if you don't factor, they have good scores. You know, you check them on DAT load board, their pay history is good, and you booked 10, 15, 20 loads with them, and in a month everything goes down. Their scores go down, they start paying slow, and you don't even realize until it's too late. So I recommend checking brokers more often. Even if you work with a broker all the time, just check them out every week, especially if the ones, you know, the ones that you're always working with. Check their scores every week, check with the factoring, just run their MC number again, and check, you know, going in your factoring or wherever you do your invoices, and then you can kind of see the proportion of how much money you have spread out through different brokers, like how much they have in outstanding balances to you. And then if they have, you know, $20,000, $50,000, then make sure that they're paying. You know, go into the history there and see that they're paying. Talk to your factoring company, see if you're okay to book more loads with them, things like that, or just hold on, like hold on for a few days or a few weeks for that money to start coming in, and then once their balance goes down, then you can start booking again. So yeah, that's another thing we have to deal with as far as the brokers go, not just other regular things that we are used to. And brokers always, you know, it's normal in any business that some businesses will close, but the problem is if a broker owes thousands and millions of dollars, especially these big brokerages like Yellow, then that's a problem for everyone, because if they owe hundreds of companies money, what are the chances that you're gonna get paid? You know, a very slim chance. They're just probably gonna go bankrupt, and that's it, you're done. So you gotta always make sure that you're on top of your payables. Now, one good thing with load boards and spot markets, and they're not that many good things about you know, doing business that way, but you know, we're kind of forced to. One good thing about that is that you're spreading out your payables to different customers. Some carriers will brag how they have these dedicated loads and customers that they work with, but that's not, it could be dangerous. If you have 2 or 3 customers or one that you booked your majority of loads with, then that's very risky. One of them goes down, or your main customer, and they go bankrupt, you're gonna go down too, because they're not gonna pay you. And in spot markets, it's different. Like, you work with hundreds of brokers. So if one of them goes down and they owe you money, then you're probably gonna survive, right? Because it's probably not gonna be that much money. But if your main customer that you've done 50% of your loads with goes down, then that's a big trouble. We have an owner-operator here. A long time ago, he used to own a sawmill with his own trucks, and they were working with a customer, I think from Indiana, and that customer went down, and they did not pay him, and he did a majority of business with that customer. So it was not just trucking, it was because he had a sawmill, it was lumber, and that customer owed not just him but others a lot of money, and they opened up a new one. They actually went bankrupt. They didn't pay anyone, and they opened up a new company, and they kept doing that. So you gotta be very careful with that. So yeah, pay attention to your invoice payables, pay attention to brokers, to their scores, and then hopefully we'll be okay out there. This is Enes from Never Stop Trucking. Thanks for watching. If you're an owner-operator, check out the description of this video, and let's work together. Stay safe.